Oh, wait. All right. Good morning, everyone. You might be wondering, why the hell am I not in a video game? Well, it's Wednesday morning, not in Clip Studio either, obviously. I'm doing a different kind of art stream today. So I have. So I've recently gotten into Warhammer 40,000, the tabletop game, and I've basically been collecting models like crazy. Um, and my dad actually got into it too, so I've been playing with him, like once every, well, whenever we could, basically, on on the weekends, and we both have a lot of fun. I I still have yet to win a single game against him, but I'm getting there. We still don't have, like, we still don't completely understand how to play the game and how to use our units, and our armies. But we're getting there, and I'll eventually be to the point where I can beat him eventually, but I'll eventually be to where I can beat him eventually. And I think I'm just gonna get started here. So this is Master Lazarus of the Dark Angels, of the Dark Angel Space Marine chapter, and I'm gonna do these model painting streams for like units that are not, well, basically for like any single model units like Lazarus. Um, and he's actually like the same rank as a captain, Primaris captain. But I'm reading here in the Dark Angels Codex supplement. He has abilities called Intractable Will. When this model is destroyed, if it is within engagement range of any enemy units, do not remove it from play. He can, after the attacking model's unit has finished making its attacks, be selected to fight, even if he's already fought this phase. After resolving these attacks, this model is removed. This ability is not cumulative, cumulative, with the Astartes banner ability or the only in death does duty end stratagem. This ability takes precedence. He can also reroll any friendly units, well, any Dark Angels units within 6 inches of him. He can, like, any friendly Dark Angel units within 6 inches of him can re-roll a hit roll of 1. And he can also, Spirit Shield Helm, he can also, while the friendly Dark Angel unit is within 6 inches of him, each time a model in that unit would lose a wound as the result of a mortal wound, roll 1d6, adding 1 to the result if this model would lose, if adding 1. Oh, adding 1 to the result if he would be the one losing a wound. On a 5-up, that wound is not lost. Alright. He also has a sword called Enmity's Edge that apparently does extra damage against psychers. And you hear psycher, think of a wizard, basically. Spellcaster, sorcerer. So Lazarus is no joke. He also has the Iron Halo, as you can see here. And I have a picture of him. So I won't be like completely accurate with this. This won't be like perfect to what he looks like on the box. Like it says, like there's some matte white and like the bone color on him and all like the important Dark Angels characters actually. But I'm not a big fan of the bone white, so the wings on his helmet here and on his robes, I'm gonna make him it. I'm gonna make, oh my god. If it's bone white on the box, I'm gonna make it pure white. Okay? And I'm gonna start off with his sword, because that'll be like probably the least amount of effort I'll have to make. I'll be right back, because I forgot something important. There we go. Some water for my paintbrushes. And let's see. Oh, crap. Damn it. I just got paint on the damn, like, handle of the brush. We're off to a great start here. I don't think... Something tells me I wasn't as prepared for this as I thought I was. But that's fine. Alright. So let's see. Bring his sword into the light a bit. So yeah, I'm coloring his sword the appropriately named gunmetal gray. And I think all these paints are like the Games Workshop brand. I think. Actually, no, I think they are. Because this is gunmetal gray, and then we have colors like ultramarine blue and demonic yellow. And I do know that there is a fantasy Warhammer like game called series called Age of Sigmar, which is why I have barbarian flesh too. Alright, that's the sword. Well, that's the silver on the sword. Lazarus, Enmity's Edge, which is like the name of the sword, does also happen to have some blue, like, magic. Well, not magic. Some blue stuff that would go on the like near the guard, which I think is cool. That's probably whatever enchantments on that is probably what gives it more like it's probably why the sword kills psychers more effectively than other swords. And let's see. What other like gray does he have? Is that gray hair? Actually, no, I'm not gonna paint the hair. I'm not gonna paint his hair yet. Um, and I'm certainly glad that this paint dries very quickly. But I'll still like come back to it later. Let's see, is that the only? No, it's not. No, it's not. The the power supply for his armor. And wait, should that be? No, the iron halo appears gold. So I'll paint the power supply gray. Except I'll hold it up here so you can see it. And these streams will only be like when I paint. I might already said this, but they'll be for like important characters, like single model units, like Lazarus. There's Commander Farsight, of course, for the Tau, or for Farsight Tau specifically. Um, there's Saint Celestine for the Sisters of Battle, which a friend at work and I both call the Sisters of Yikes because look up their lore. That's why. Um, and I'm gonna paint all of this, like every part of the power supply silver, except for the halo. And I'm not just like doing this on the fly. I kind of knew how I would paint Lazarus before I started here. Oh, he has a Dark Angel sigil on his pauldron. I don't know if you can see it. Quality's kind of scuff, but so is my voice. Holy crap. My voice just cracked. Um but this But yeah, I might paint that I might paint actually no, I think I'm gonna paint the pauldron. Actually no, that wouldn't be Dark Angels E. Yeah. I think every part of the armor except for the Iron Halo and like all the like the ranks, like the ranking symbols and stuff. What would you call them? What are they called? I don't know. I don't know. They're gonna be like they're gonna be gold. Rank markers like the rank markings like the Iron Halo, because not every Space Marine has one of those. By the way, oh my god. So my dad and I usually play on. No, you can't see that. My dad and I usually play on weekends. And I just got a bunch of new units. I got a squad of eliminators, which are basically like Space Marine snipers. And my dad actually runs orcs when we play. And unlike most Space Marines, orcs, like, main strategy is pretty simple. They're one of the armies that you would horde your enemies with. Just, like, rush them and just beat them down. That is made way worse for me by a certain orc warlord, I should say. The one and only Gazgul Mak Urak Thraka. Or just Gazgul Thraka. And basically just him, like, being on the battlefield, just him existing. Sorry. Like, just him existing. I'm pretty sure he just, like, gives orcs more, Actually, I don't really know exactly what he does. It's bad. It's bad for me. Oh, crap. But we also build our own terrain. Well, at least we also build our own terrain for when we play. And we had this like the ruins of a, like, cathedral. And last game, that's where I put my eliminators. I put them on high ground because they actually have a rule where they can be deployed 9 inches away from enemy units. So I made the mistake of putting all 3 of my eliminators right in front of Gazgul Thraka. Because I just, like, needed to take him out first. And it did not work. It did not work. So, in one of his charge phases, which is, like, almost exactly what it sounds like. In one of his charge phases, he had Gazgul, he had Thraka, God damn it, just rush right at the building that my eliminators were in, and he killed all 3 of them. He killed all 3 of my eliminators, but since he's this, like, big and horrifying orc warlord, he also, like, brought down the building that they were in, because he's giant. And I had a chaplain behind the building to try to buff the eliminators, but he was too far away to do that. We came up with this, like, this really funny story that this poor chaplain trying to buff our eliminators with the, I think it's called the Bolter Discipline. The one that gives you extra, the one that, like, him being around. It's the litany where if he's around any friendly units, they get extra, like hit rolls. Well, not extra rolls, but they get a buff to hit rolls, so they can hit their enemies. Anyways, basically, this chaplain wanted to buff the eliminators, and all of a sudden he saw the building they were in just collapse. Wow. Damn it. And the and Thraka just like charging through, like standing over the rubble. He's like, "What the fuck?" We kept saying that Thraka basically Kool-Aid manned, like Kool-Aided through the building to kill the Eliminators. He's like, "Oh yeah." Oh man, I still get a good laugh thinking about it. And needless to say, I lost that game. I think that goes without saying. I haven't won a single game against my dad, but like I said, I'm getting there. It's all because I still don't understand everything that all of my models can do. Like, I didn't know that my Terminators had the Crux Terminus. Crux Terminatus? Terminus? I don't know. I didn't know that that basically gives them invulnerability +4 on it. Well, invulnerability. Oh my god. Invulnerability on a 4. Like a 4 up. Like if I roll higher than a 4, they don't take wounds. They don't take damage. I'll be right back again. And I'm back. I'll just put these brushes over here so they don't accidentally get in the paint. Alright, so now I'm going to do the wings on his helmet here. I'm just going to make them white. But yeah, I mainly lose because I still don't have like a full understanding of what all of my guys can do. Crap. I forgot that my Terminators could teleport. I forgot basically everything that all of my like HQ units can do, and that includes Lazarus. And I just like he just like well, and my dad also has, you know, Gazgul Thraka himself, who turns out, and this is going to be bad for me next time we play, turns out he can only take 4 wounds every turn. And he has 12 wounds, I think. So basically, you need 3 wounds. So basically, you need 3 turns to kill him. And even then, that's if you kill him, because he has this little piece of shit right next to him named Makari, who basically, like, him being near Thraka, like, you have a huge disadvantage on hitting him. So yeah, dealing with that is always fun. Oh wait, you know what? I'm gonna paint the rest of his. I'm gonna paint the rest of his like white parts, which is a lot. That's why. Let's start with this cape. But I'm also mostly doing this stream because I don't want to limit myself to like my art streams. Like drawing the video game art was fun, but I don't know if I want to do that anymore. I think I want to do more original stuff. Like the VTuber prom one that I did. What was that? Last week? Yeah. I want to do more stuff like that. Like just original stuff. And there's my next one is actually going to be about the VTuber uprising trend on Twitter, because I mostly decided I want to do that because one of my my moots, as they're called, tweeted that there's been like a recent like surge of hate for VTubers, which I will never understand why there's ever been that. And it gave me the idea to do the uprising trend. So, and I have a good idea for that one. I've already asked everyone I've collabed with, or some people I've collabed with, if I could draw them, and they've all said yes. So I'm looking forward to starting on that. Let's see, that's why that already looks really cool. Yeah, model painting streams are going to be not just for like characters important to the lore, but also like librarians. Who else? We got librarians, which are basically like space marine psychers. We have I'm gonna do chaplains. Well, I do already have a chaplain, but there's no reason I can't get another. There's gonna be like, I think I already said this, but like Commander Farsight, Living Saint Celestine, any bigger units too, like Knights or Titans, and those are gonna be, if I ever get a Knight or a Titan, that's gonna be a pretty hefty project. It's gonna be a really fun painting project. And there's a reason that I'm starting. There's a reason I started this one at 9 a.m. Because going into such detail as I'm trying to right now, like I'm not just gonna. I'm gonna put effort into this. I'm gonna put effort into important units. And I'm gonna make them look good. I am kind of wishing I had that like one of those lamps that also has a magnifying glass that you see coroners in crime dramas using. I have one down here. I have one downstairs right now, but I don't know if it'll fit on my desk. Because I also have my palette, I also have my PC, I also have my. I have 3 monitors up here. And there's like my lamp, my water bottle, and stuff. And so my. So the reason I'm painting Lazarus is because I play the Dark Angels Space Marine chapter, and I'm gonna get like other Imperium chapters, but like the Dark Angels are my Space Marines specifically, and they shall know no fear. But no, I think the Dark Angels are a pretty interesting chapter, like lore wise, because there's not. I don't know a lot about them. I do know that during the Horus Heresy, half of them turned traitor. And they're the ones called the Fallen. Fallen. um, and that's like a big mark of shame on their chapter as a whole. Which I do kind of think that makes the Dark Angels like a lot more humble than a lot of other Space Marines. I mean, I do think they might still be. I don't know for sure, but they might. I don't know for sure, but they might still be like these religious zealots, like a vast majority of Space Marines. But they're not like Black Templar level. Like insane. Hmm. All right. Is that all the white I can put on him? Yeah, I think it is. That's fine. I like this. And let's see. What color could I do next? Oh, gold. Wait. Yeah, gold. Gonna paint that. Gonna paint that iron halo. After I do some hydrating. So. Demonic yellow. Spelled with an A. Demonic yellow. Still demon. Kind of surprised that this isn't like. Yeah, I'm just gonna paint this just like all yellow. But yeah, I don't want to be like limited to like my art streams because it's still. I mean, you could technically call this gaming art because you play with them like on the tabletop. And And I do kind of want to like do more than just slapping myself into like the art of like other video games. Cuz that honestly got kind of boring. I don't know if I'm going to do that anymore. Just drop a I'll just like tweet, "Hey, drop your PNGs." Like to other VTubers, "Drop your PNGs." And after they do that, I'll like tell all of them what the theme is going to be. I mean, I already not going to do that for the Uprising one because I already got a lot of my friends to I already like asked my friends if I could draw them and they said yes. So yeah, that's going to be my next one. What other gold could I do? There's the guard on the sword. Make it gold. If I ever paint something as big as a knight or a titan, that might be like a series, like a mini series of streams because they're like knights. Well, I mean, I'm sure if you know 40K, you know that knights are big boys. They're huge. It's going to be the same for Tau battlesuits, dreadnoughts, tanks, just all the single model units. Most single model units. All right. Oh, you know what? I forgot about whatever this is right here. Don't know if you can see it. It's a bit blurred out, but there's a bit of a what would you call that? This right here. Maybe I'll get a better webcam specifically for this. But yeah, that's going to be gold too. Having a lot of fun with this. Oh, you know what? I actually missed something that could be gray. And I think that might be a grenade, honestly. And you know what? This knife could also be gray. Like I said, I'm going into more detail than I usually do. I could use my finer brush for this. And then for that stripe on the helmet. I don't know if you guys can see it. Oh, you can. I mean, you can when I hold it like this, obviously. Hmm. Or you know what? Maybe next time I will have that lamp with a magnifying glass. Oh my god. Well, actually, no, that doesn't look too bad. I'm gonna paint like the entire top half gold. I'm gonna paint that gold, and I'm gonna paint where the like where the wings meet the helmet gold. There's also the skull on his knee guard, shin guard, which I'm pretty sure every captain has in a Space Marine chapter, which is fun. Is that another one? No, it's not. No, it's not. This is... It's going to be the Insignia, the Dark Angel's Insignia. Just like a sword with wings. It's one of the easiest insignias to remember. The easiest being the Ultramarines. Just like an upside down Omega symbol, I think. And then there's right here. There's some more like stars and bars over here. I didn't think it'd be this hard to paint while also making sure you guys can see what where I'm painting. Well, actually, that's not true. I had a feeling it wouldn't be easy. Damn it. Actually, that's fine. I can work with that. I do need to focus. So I kind of did a scuff on the arm holding the helmet a bit. So I'm painting like everything from the hand up gold. And this paint dries really fast. Which I, of course, like, Why wouldn't I use this paint for models? And let's see. So I'm going to paint like the... Damn it. I'm going to paint the neck part gold 2. I don't know what you would call that, but I'm painting that gold 2. Oh, I have to be very careful here to not get his head or anything else. Crap. Crap. Again, I don't know if I have the best setup here either. It really feels like I need full light in here. And I probably do. The way I usually paint my models, I usually spray paint them like the factions color, which in this case is green for the Dark Angels. And then I go into more detail like later. Like I'll just spray paint the guy green and then add all the the details and stuff. Am I missing anything? No, I just have to do his head now. And let's see, Lazarus seems to have some dark hair. Lazarus seems to have some dark hair, so that's what I'm gonna go for in a second. I know that I'm gonna have to really use my... Oh god, I gotta be careful. I probably should have done the head first. But it's fine. It's fine. I knew from the start that this was not gonna be 100% spot on. But what do I always say? That's not what I'm going for. Alright, so first I'm gonna paint his hair. No, I'm gonna paint his entire head first. I'm gonna paint him barbarian flesh. I'm gonna paint his head barbarian flesh. I'm going to use my super fine brush. And oh boy, do I need to be careful. Note to self. In my next model building stream, do the head first. Uh-oh. Oh, no, that's gold. All right, never mind. That's from my gold painting. So currently my army consists of the Space Marines that actually came in the starter kit, like for 40k in general, which is like, which I think is like a team of assault intercessors, which are like they just have bolters and chain swords. I think like bolt pistols and chain swords, I believe, and bolt pistols and chain swords, and they also like are meant for just charging at enemies with melee. It also came with a lieutenant with a Neo-Volkite pistol, which I think is just like an electric pistol, I think. I don't know. But he also has a master-crafted power sword. So yeah, lieutenants are no joke. And so yeah, like my army has them. They also have the combat. I also have the combat patrol, which is a squad of like normal intercessors, which is like the Space Marines that you've probably seen the most. They have like they just have like their their bolt guns. Like they have their bolt guns like real world soldiers have assault rifles. Or anything else. There's also but the combat patrol also came with a squad of inceptors, which I decided to give all plasma guns. Okay. And they're basically like jet troopers, basically. Like they have jetpacks and they are air support units. And every time I use them, my dad immediately takes them out first. Unless I have them like saved for reinforcements, which I did not know I could do the first two times we played, because he immediately took them out first. The combat patrol also came with a Primaris chaplain, which is basically a priest for Space Marines. And also a Redemptor Dreadnought. And he's usually the one laying down the most firepower. Just because he has, like, all this heavy weapons. All these heavy weapons. He has all these heavy weapons, and he easily has the most health. The most wounds out of, like, my entire army of Dark Angels. But I just recently got a squad of Eliminators that I brought up earlier that got Kool-Aided by Gazgul Thraka. And they're snipers. But I also have... sorry. But I also have a squad of Hellblasters. And basically, and this is definitely fitting for the Dark Angels since they specialize in plasma weapons. And they all have, like, plasma incinerators. They all have plasma guns. They basically all have, like, armor-piercing weapons. And I have 10 of them. That's, like, I think that's my biggest unit in my army. Because it's 10 models. Because it's 10 models, and each unit can only have a certain amount of models. And basically, my dad's beaten me like 3 times now. And he says he's not going to buy any more orcs until I beat him. And of course, I have Lazarus here. Lazarus, who my dad got me because he had Thraka. And he thought that it'd be like a fair fight if we both had like important characters that gave our units like certain buffs. And that was before I read that he can give his brothers invulnerability saves. And that he can, like, even if he dies, he can fight some more before, like, he really, really dies. So, yeah, my dad, and after I read that, my dad immediately went, like, started thinking that he, like, screwed up getting me this model. And, see, the actual lore about Lazarus in the Codex. I do know he's part of the Dark Angel's inner circle. Oh, I forgot to bring up my Terminators. Damn it. Okay, yeah, I also have a squad of Deathwing Terminators, by the way. All right, so I have the Dark Angel's Codex. And his lore. All right. So. Oh, that's a lot. So, the Inner Circle. After Horus's rebellion failed, the Shattered Imperium was in a state of turmoil as Imperial authorities sought to regain control. It was in this time that the Inner Circle was formed, a closed network of the Dark Angel's most senior members. It's weird, because I do know Lazarus is a Primaris Marine, Space Marine. Alright, Lazarus. As keeper of the unseen ritual, Lazarus is responsible for collating ancient knowledge of Caliban's ancient orders, much of which is held only by the Inner Circle. In recent years, he has more than earned this esteemed position. He has fought in many wars against the forces of chaos, combining those combating Magnus the Red in particular. Oh, shit. He earned the esteem of his superiors defending the rock from tides of demonic invaders as a sergeant of the 5th Company. But seeing his revered home tainted by such creatures affected him deeply. He wanted vengeance. So the Dark Angels' homeworld is called Caliban. I do know that. And it was destroyed during the Horus Heresy. So they're just based on like a fragment of the planet that they call the Rock, which gave me a really really funny joke. So every like Space Marine founding chapter has a Primarch, and that's a son of the Emperor. The Emperor's like seen as a god basically, and you can, like, if you knew him and look at him, and you knew his lore, you could basically like call him a god. But that's besides the point. The Dark Angels Primarch is named Lionel Johnson. That's why they're called Sons of the Lion. So the joke here, his last name is Johnson, and the Dark Angels are based on the Rock. I'll let you like, well, you know, I'm pretty sure you guys can put that together. But reading more about Lazarus. By the time of the Stygius campaign, when Magnus the Red was attempting to draw an entire sector into his grasp, Lazarus had become master of the 5th Company and had been inducted into the Inner Circle. Ooh, good for him. Good for Lazarus. Though eager to fight the forces of the arch enemy, he maintained a cool head. Oh, so he's not as like hot-blooded as the rest of his chapter might be. Though eager to fight the forces of the arch enemy, I just read that. Thanks to his careful leadership, the disaster at Reminok was prevented from developing into a full rout, though he was savagely wounded. Such were his injuries that the only way to preserve his life was for him to become was for him to cross the Rubicon Primaris. Oh. So that's how he became a Primaris Marine. That makes sense. He survived the ordeal, and included with his new war gear was the Spirit Shield helm, newly forged and gifted to him by the Dark Angels Tech Marines, incorporating a shard of one of the old Caliban's Stone Guardians. This masterwork projects a mystical warding field, protecting Master Lazarus and nearby warriors from all but the most devastating attacks. Lazarus has seen too many battle brothers slain by the evils of the warp, and the only time his trademark calm fades is when he wages war against psychers. Oh, like Magnus. Like Magnus, and I think he's the Primarch of the Thousand Suns chapter of Chaos Marines, of foul heretics. Okay. He faced the forces of Magnus the Red in battle alongside the Grey Knights. Oh, in a daring raid against the planet of sorcerers to disrupt a terrible ritual of the Crimson King. I assume that's Magnus. I don't know. I know bits and pieces of the lore, but not like every single detail. Though the strike was ultimately successful, a great many Dark Angels were slain or had to be abandoned in the withdraw. Each day Lazarus carries his shame for these losses and his hatred for the forces of chaos and the Thousand Suns burns ever deeper. Huh. So he does not like psychers. And that's why his sword here, Enmity's Edge, does like extra damage to them. Alright, that makes a lot of sense. Lazarus is a bit of a cool character, I think. Like he's like all hatred, especially, well, not all hatred. But if he's fighting chaos or psychers, he's definitely like mostly hatred for sure. Uh, so looking at this model, that's a really cool. I'm satisfied with that. See, would it look better if I did the bone white? Nah. Right, yeah. I'm satisfied with how this turned out. And I can't wait to maybe not get crumped next time I play next time I play 40K. I'm honestly surprised this didn't take as long as I thought it would. Yeah, as long as I thought it would. And I was, for my next model stream, gonna do Trajan Valoris, who's like the leader of the Adeptus Custodes. Eh, actually, I could probably like go into more detail other than just spray painting him in gold and just and just calling it. Um, but I think that's gonna be it. I I am pretty satisfied with how this turned out. I'm gonna put a picture of him in the Discord, which you guys are always welcome to join, by the way. Um, and also be sure to follow me on Twitter for content updates, which will also be in my Discord. Make sure you also check out the podcast that I have with my dad on Spotify. We're doing our Thymesia series right now, which I think I'm gonna go ahead and start editing because I haven't yet. um, and I think that's it. My next stream ugh, is gonna be the one that I've been scared to do, League of Legends. So yeah, that'll be fun. That'll be like only fun, I'm sure. But until then, that's it for me. Until then, guys, I will see you guys later. So, goodbye.